This has to be the best driver-focused American car collection I've ever come across. There's nothing slow and low, there's nothing just for show. Each of these cars were designed for performance, whether it be just for straight line speed or to tackle the corners. Rich Fair Service has every generation of the Dodge Viper, Corvettes, Mustangs, Camaros, you get the point. I caught up with Rich this last time I was in Phoenix for Barrett-Jackson.
Well, all of them except the last Viper down there have less than 1,000 miles. And this one, for instance, the snakeskin green, that's the last year of Viper was 2017. I think there's 8 or 9 miles on it. I bought it new, and when they said they were going to stop making Viper. So I bought 2 of them, actually. I bought this one, and I bought another 2017 GTS, and that's the one I drive. I can put a few miles on it.
You purposely bought 2, one to keep as a collector
Correct,
car.
and the other one to drive.
You still start it though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, you want it started, it'll start right up.
And then some of these you still even have the window sticker on.
Yeah, no miles on them. All of them, I've got the original window stickers. These gold ones here, it's a matte finish paint, but it's not a wrap. And there's one convertible, one coupe. And these were made, they're 2008s, and they were made to celebrate Hearst 50th anniversary. And then what made this set, though, when they displayed it, there's a go-kart up there on top of that mezzanine that went with this set. And so now it's a complete set. The way they, purposely did it for their advertising and promotions. This one's called a Mamba edition, and it was white, red interior, and they made several of them. The first one, this one right above it, that's a 92. That's very first year of the Viper, and that one has about 300 miles on it. And you had, they had no door handles,
no windows,
and it had plastic windows to hang there. So it was pretty primitive.
And correct me if I'm wrong, you can open the hood from the outside.
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
No security.
Yeah. All of the most of them you can. It's like if we jump back to this one, everybody's used to the hood latch inside, but these things you can just they're carbon fiber and. You've got full view of the engine.
Do you ever take any of your Vipers to the racetrack?
I don't. I'd go out to, it was called Bondurant, now it's Radford, and I used to go out there and, I'd use theirs to do a little racing and learn all the tricks of it. Yeah, so you've got Vipers all the way down to this 2017. That's the one I drive. This red one.
This one.
Yeah. Then you've got your Challengers, your Cudas, your GTXs. The blue one here is a red eye, they call it. It's 797 horsepower. The green one, 2018, they made the Demon. And it was, right in the 840 horsepower. And then you've got 5 more of the Demon 170s that are 1,025 horsepower.
All in different colors.
Yeah, I thought, well, I'll collect all the colors, but I come to find out there's 12 colors, and I didn't need 6 more of them. And then on top is the wing cars. You've got the Superbird, the white one, and then the Daytona is the orange one. 69 Daytona, 503 of them were made. Richard Petty, raced them in NASCAR.
Do you get those, for example, as fully restored cars, or do you restore them yourself?
If they're most of the time, I look for them restored. You spend a lot of money restoring them, and then they always say be the second owner on them, and I've restored some, and it's not cheap. I mean, it's expensive. You think that it's easy to race out and buy an engine. You'll get more tied up in restoration than you do a new car. And you can get underwater pretty quick.
So then, depending on what you're looking for, maybe if there's something that isn't available.
Right. Yeah, if there's something that's not that's a really limited edition. If you find one that's decent, yeah, you grit your teeth and spend the money.
What's the deal with Texaco?
Texaco, I used to pump gas in high school as a kid, and I always liked the Texaco. I like the colors, and it's a little bit of, it's set up as a 1960s era Texaco. And it takes you back. It's a nostalgic type of deal for me anyway. And people enjoy it. And
these are real?
Yeah, these are road maps I've got all 50 states, and and then some you get into the Phoenix area and stuff, but which there wasn't, and it isn't much of a map back in the 60s. It was small.
That's
but yeah,
incredible.
these Wyoming, Texas, wherever. And that's kind of the way it was. You'd stop at a Texaco station or a gas station and pick up a road map. We didn't have the GPS, so we had to learn to read a road map.
I remember the Thomas guides.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how we got around.
This is one of 10 that Shelby Tribute. He started out in 1962 with aluminum body, modified it, and the rest is history. That's what Shelby's all about. And this one was made, it's the first one of the 10, and it's got a lot of articles on it, a CSX 2900. And then he painted it multiple times. There's good stories to kind of convince people that he was in a mass production, and actually it was the same car, just a different color.
Like this one is plugged in, ready to go. So every one of these you can start now?
Yes, yeah. Every car in here, you may have to coax it with a little bit of starting fluid, but all of these cars, they're ready to go.
This is very, very intriguing. Beautiful car.
The 05, 06s, they sold for in the mid 150s. They've really picked up a value lately. They're, in the 400 range, and if it's the Heritage Edition, the Gulf colored ones, they're in the 500 to 600 range. But it's a lot of fun to drive. Actually, I like driving this better than I do the new GT. They're comfortable to drive. They're comfortable to get in. You've got the stick shift, all of that. You've got a lot of headroom there.
Is this one up here just for service or storage?
No, that one's just kind of out of my way. I've got an extra parking spot. That's one of the new Demon 170s. The 23 was a supposed last call for Challenger or for Dodge Challengers. I ended up buying 6 of the 170s, and they're 1,025 horsepower. You've got to run the E85 to get that type of horsepower.
Did you think you would see the day where you could buy a car from the manufacturer that can pull a wheelie?
No, I mean, we're living in the day of technology and horsepower. We talk about the muscle era. We're in the muscle era. Change the pulley on a supercharger and increase the horsepower, put more air to it, increase the horsepower. It's incredible. It really is. And so we sit here, and the new ZR1, they talk about 1,060 horsepower, and you're thinking that's incredible. And to have the technology, fun to drive, enjoyable, reliable, you're not working on them, and change the oil and put fuel in them, you're set.
Honestly, it looks like you're out of room now.
Well, I am. I'm adding another 4-post lift, and it's triple high, so that way I can get 2 more. What I'm trying to do is get everything into one building. I've got a building next door that's got overflow, so.
This is not it.
Oh, no, this isn't it. This is the majority of it, but yeah, I've got overflow here and got overflow at a place across the street called Garage Town.
What do you say to people when they ask you, when they find out you're a car guy, what car do you drive?
Yeah, that's probably the first question. Or what's your favorite car? And, but the car, I like to drive cars, but I'm actually a pickup guy, being from Wyoming. So being without a pickup, I feel lost. You've got to collection of cars. You know, all of them are fun to drive.
You just say, okay, so I just drive a pickup truck. That way it kind of like stops the questions
it
right
stops
there.
it there. You know, I was asked, you know, which brand do you like? And, you know, can't answer that because I like them all.
I see that.
You know, nice cars, or it can be resto mods, or it can be rat rods. That's what's nice about cars. You can drive whatever you want and nobody judges you. It just, you enjoy it.
You know, I'm so lucky to have seen so many collections, but I do have to say, this place is so clean, and us being in the desert, there's not a speck of dust here.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can see behind me some dust tracks. I'm the janitor too, so I am pretty anal about the cars. I dust them and keep the filters, you know, changed in the building, and try to minimize my job. You become a slave to the cars, and that's what I don't want to do. Then you lose the enjoyment.
Besides yourself, how many people are helping you maintain these vehicles?
You're looking at them. Every couple months, I've got a high school kid that likes to come in, and I'll let him dust the cars, but not too often. Now, starting them, I'll do that every couple months. The cars up on the lifts, that's probably every 6 months. Batteries, I change the batteries. I do the light maintenance. If it gets serious maintenance, then I send it. Body work, we send that out, obviously. Changing a transmission, you know, it's too messy. I don't want to get my hands that dirty.
If you have a cool car to sell, check out American Marketplace. It's free to list your car. You get dedicated support before, during, and after your auction. You get to keep 100% of the profits. Check out the link down below.
Is this something that you drive pretty often since you're a pickup truck guy?
Yeah, you know, not as much. I've got a pickup next door that I drive quite a bit that's a resto mod. And this one, a friend of mine that he and another friend started the restoration on it, and they got pretty well along on it, and I just got it, you know, finished it here a couple of years ago, and I enjoy it. You can head down the highway, you can set the cruise control and do 80 miles an hour, keep up with the traffic.
Is this a Roadrunner?
That's a 69 Roadrunner. That's my high school car. I found it about 20 plus years later and did a restoration on it, tried to get it back to the way I remembered it, and I didn't get quite there because somebody had cut a 4-speed in it, and it had an automatic originally. So what I did was cut the body off of the Roadrunner, and then the donor car was a new Challenger, a 2008 Challenger. So it sets on a new Challenger. So I can go into the dealership, plug in an OBD, and it'll tell me what the code is and stuff if it's throwing a code.
Can I take a look at the engine bay?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So you're looking at a new Challenger, the 6.1 Hemi, and it's great. And you set, you know, you cut the bodies off because they really aren't a framed car. They're a unibody, so the floor pan is kind of what ties the car together.
So then, was it difficult for you to find this car?
No, I'm from Wyoming. You've got you know, a little over 500,000 people there, and a friend of mine was a county treasurer. Then my mother had kept a registration that had the title number, so we were able to track it down. And you know, a lot of times, it was wrecked, but it was worth restoring. Sentimental value, and you know, I enjoyed the car and regretted ever selling it.
I mean, this is the one that started your passion for this.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, if you look, you want to try to keep it. The Challenger, the things I took out was the steering wheel, the seats, they came out of the Challenger and the console. The headrest, the dash, all of that is the original 69 Roadrunner. And then even the door panels.
The headrest, so you took the old headrest and put it on the new seats.
Yeah. It worked out
It's
pretty
kind
good.
of funny how it looks okay.
Yeah, I wrapped the leather, rewrapped it because the leather was a little stiff. But if you look at the door panels, they're they're the original door panels. I used to rest my arm when I was a high school kid. I was 18 or 17 years old, and I'm 71.
That's amazing.
And then wanted to keep the door handles original, so, you just put power in there, and they're power windows, but they look like hand crank.
That is so cool. What a build.
It is. And runs nice. I've put 2,000-3,000 miles on it in the last couple of years, and before that I put 600 miles on the Challenger that was the donor car.
So then we got Corvette row here.
Yeah, you've got the C8s. This is the Z06. That's a Cunningham edition. They made 60 of them. Cunningham raced the Corvettes and had pretty successful racing career. And these are the C8s, and that's the way I've got it.
Oh my God. I have never seen this.
That's the air intake it's supercharged. Lingenfelter did the supercharger. And, it's 600 plus horsepower plus torque.
So then that's a rear view camera?
That's the camera. So, and you had to raise it to see over the wing. So it works out pretty good. That way you can see who's behind you. So it always works.
Right, because
it's
the stock one you can still see out of the rear view.
Yeah, you can. When the tops are down, you can't. The mirror has got the camera in it. So, so these are, this is number 17 of the 60 series, and
oh my God.
it just, it's a fun car to drive.
That is incredible. Le Mans Corvette.
So it's kind of a tribute to the Cunningham racing years. Another C8 convertible, that's first year they made the mid-engine, was 2020. And then 2016 Z06. The Z06 is a nice car. The ZR1 that's coming out, everybody's on a list.
You think you'll get one?
It might be a shit list, but you never know. So I hope not, but it'll be a neat car. Especially for the price, I think the price point was under $200,000, and to get 1,060 horsepower, you figure out the dollars per horsepower, it's pretty cheap.
Well, I mean, once you get one in here,
yeah, I'll get one. It may be, year after they manufactured them, but I'll get one.
But that'll be the fastest car here.
Oh yeah, it's. I think they were in the 220, 230 miles an hour range. So it's incredible. And you've got the safety there with the brake systems, and it's a good time to be into cars. And so you've got the C8, that's 7, C6, C5, C4, C3, C2 is the split window down there. And then the C1, that's the first year, the 1953. That was a 6-cylinder with 3 single-barrel carburetors. But that's what put Corvette on the map. And then you've got Kindig that, took a 53 concept and built it's a work of art there.
It's absolutely beautiful.
It is. It's incredible. And that's another Lingenfelter, engine in it, and puts out some real horsepower.
Really, what a work of art.
They
so
are.
Cool.
I mean, and Dave and his whole team do a great job. They to fuel it, lift the tail light. So
that is so cool. And there's no cap or anything.
No, there isn't, because it's self-venting and everything. And then under this one, you plug in the trickle charger. So you've got everything that just is good. And then this one's a new addition, Superformance and Shelby. They put the Godzilla engine in it, so that's your 600 and plus horsepower. And put some modifications on it, and there's 30 of those built.
So is this one aluminum?
No, this one's fiberglass. And the bodies are out of South Africa. And they're painted in South Africa, too. The body comes a rolling chassis. Then you add the engine and transmission, the drivetrain.
I think I know what's going on here. I think my best guess is you have one for collection and one for driving.
You got her. This one's got a few hundred miles. That one has 37 miles on it. And I'd like to buy one or two more. I think that, they're right in a price range that next few years they'll increase in price.
The flex for me is the fact that it's the same color. Like,
Yeah, the
oh my
liquid
God.
red, yeah.
Two of the same color. Amazing.
That one has the stripes, has some exposed stripes, and this one I ordered brand new. You fill out a 17-page document to get the privilege to buy one, and a lot of people got rejection notices, and I was fortunate enough that I had enough Ford products that it worked out pretty handy.
You probably just showed them this picture and you're like, hey, I need to add to this.
Yeah, you look here and you know that I'm serious about, well, it's like the new Mustang GTD. And you had to fill out, it was the same process, handled by a concierge department within Ford. It's a lottery system. But I was able to get a GTD, and now I get to figure out what colors I want.
This is really interesting. You have a lot of motorcycles also.
Yeah, I had a lot of them when I was a kid. Up there's probably 3 to 4 of them that were mine. The rest of them, I see something I like and I buy it, and I do have those restored. There's a guy across the street that restores all my little Hondas that are in the office area.
I saw those. Those are super cool. So then how do you get them down from up there?
Well, you've got to be good at jumping motorcycles. But at any rate, now I've got a ramp and a forklift that I lift them and roll them on there. So it's fairly safe. I just won't, getting older, your balance isn't quite as good, so.
And then we got Camaro row here.
Yeah, Camaro, there's every generation of Camaro here too. You've got the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. And this is the end of them. The Camaro, they say, that's a 24 there, and that's what they call the Panther, the matte black one. Panther was the code name for Camaro before they came out with the Camaro. And then everything from the white one here down are all Z28s. And, it's funny. I'm not fond of, this red one or burgundy one, but people that, kids that grew up in that era love them. You get to the 70s, the 69, 8, and 7, then that's my kind of favorite car.
That's what I noticed about your collection. Like, you have a very particular taste in cars in that they seem to just have to be performance oriented, right? It's just performance first.
Yeah, the Z28, that ran a 302. The first 3 years they had the 302 engine, and they were more for your, I'm gonna not call it a street rod, but performance. And I like horsepower. I like performance, and I like cars. It's probably an illness, so. Needless to say.
This is your era, right?
Yeah, the 70s, the 70 was a real change. The body style changed, the big doors. The 67 had wing windows, the 8 and 9, they got rid of the wing windows. They're just subtle differences. And, every year the body changed. Whether it was a slight change to the grill or whatever, the body's changed. So the older cars, yes, I near and dear to.
But I also love the fact that it's almost like you skip maybe the 90s, 80s and 90s.
Right.
You have some of them,
yeah.
But then most of the cars are the newer, most recent generation,
Correct.
Newer technology. You're just like embracing all of that.
I want something that's comfortable, to drive, reliable. And these were reliable. In the day they were very reliable, but now you can go a few 100,000 miles on a vehicle. 100,000 was a lot of miles on the older generation.
You have quite a few Shelbys.
I do. Those came later. A friend of mine is into the Mustang. I like Mustangs. The Shelbys, they do a nice job on performance and the looks. That car, it's a 2020. I had bought it new.
Yeah, because these are built in Las Vegas.
The KR, yes.
GT350.
Yeah, GT350, it's dusty. I see dust on it. That drives me nuts. But That one is a clone. It's a fun car to drive. I just had it fuel injected, so that gives it some use.
Yeah, that's even better. And
Oh,
you
yeah,
don't
the
feel
fuel-
bad driving it.
Exactly.
It's a clone. You can put miles on it.
Right, and not worry about tearing up a $500,000 car. You've got a $50,000 car. And then Mustang, of course, 24, they came out the dark horse. It's a really nice car. And then the Brittany Blue, that's the 60th anniversary Mustang. The white one up above is the 50th anniversary. And then you've got Carroll Shelby would have been 100 years old in 2023. And so that's a centennial edition, in honor of his 100th birthday. And they were supposed to make 100 of them, but 23 was a short year for Mustang. I don't think they got 100 made, but they changed the fenders on the front and the hood. It really got a kind of a menacing look to it and supercharged it. And up above a Hearst edition, which is, supercharged. The GT500, that powder blue, that's a dealer. It has never been dealer prepped. The Boss 302s are fantastic cars. That you've got the newer ones, and then you've got the, Holy Grail is the Boss 429, the Boss 302 above it.
You were lying. You said you didn't have any help.
Well, I'll tell you what, you notice he doesn't cost me a lot to employ, but he doesn't get a lot of stuff done.
It's funny. I've been walking around here photographing this place, and I get scared. Or basically, your mannequins are scaring the living shit out of me when I walk by them because I'm like, who the hell is staring at me?
Exactly.
But so what's the deal with the mannequins?
I enjoy them, and people, it kind of. If they're not used to them, they look and who's watching me or who. It does spook people.
This scene right here is just unbelievable. Just like Mustang Row.
Looks like a jar of M&Ms.
It's
just the multicolors and.
It is so cool. I absolutely. How often do you get to drive these two?
I don't.
Oh, you don't?
I mean, no. These are I start them, but I don't drive them. They're finished to the nth degree according to Ford standards. I mean, you open the hood and it's brand new under there. It's
even
this
like
is a
the markings and
1970.
stuff?
The markings, that's the way they were at factory. Various markings represents various things, but try to finish them to the nth degree. It's like this one, there was various things that they did.
On the ignition?
Yeah, the coils.
That is crazy. See, that's cool. It
is, and then it's just like when they paint them, you don't want to paint the bottom because they mostly had overspray the way they did them. So, if you're judging them.
I bet you even that is probably something pre-planned.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't doubt it, yeah.
That is so cool. Excuse me, look at this guy.
Yeah, don't watch his toes.
Yeah. And like that Boss 302 too, just the window sticker, you never taken out.
No, it's the way it came, and I'm not even sure what year this is. That at 13 or 12.
What a deal! Look at that.
Yeah,
45.9.
Yeah, you can't even buy a Prius for that.
Amazing. That is so cool.
Like this 67 GT500, it was in the neighborhood of $4,900. Well, now you pay sales tax for more than that. That one is, again, you open the hood and it's just like the factory.
For something like this or these cars or even the new cars, do you get asked for these cars like for shows or for...
No, I don't. I don't take them to shows, and I'd rather somebody they want to look at the cars, come on through the, I call this the warehouse. I enjoy people that enjoy cars. That can come through and reminisce, or somebody's grandfather may have had a car like that, and it kind of reminds them, takes them back in time. And cars are, people connect to cars. And that's why it's kind of sad that our body styles don't change like they used to, but as far as yearly. Now you go 7 to 10 years in the same body style, and they might upgrade a few things, but you know, the older cars have a lot of personality.
Yeah, but the good thing about your collection is it's, you know, the big three and all of them, right? Like
Right.
you're not
Yeah.
sticking to one brand.
Oh, no.
So then
I mean, yeah.
it's
you've
even
got your
more different for
Ford,
you.
General Motors and Mopar, or I guess you flip a coin and, you know, it's which one do you like better? And I can't say. I like them all.
They're all special in their own
Yeah.
way. So then, is there any reason why these are here?
Speedster, that was one Shelby did, and it started out as a Mustang GT, and they changed the body style, they wide body it, they supercharge them, and they come a beautiful car and a lot of horsepower. And then that's straight from the factory. This one, the Shelby, that's a GT 500 that comes straight from Ford that way. And then this one is the first year that Shelby did the Super Snakes. That's a 2007, and if you look in on the glove box, you'll see original Carroll Shelby signature and an errand Shelby.
Oh. How many cars do you have signed by Carroll?
There's probably 3 of them. He passed away in 2012, so and to have, you know, both him and his grandson sign it is pretty cool.
Now, this is a car I would have not guessed that would be in your collection.
You know, it's funny, if you, a lot of the car collectors have the IZ in their collection, so. And, you know, they're kind of unique cars. This is 1959, and, you know, it was your first smart car, 298 cc's. So, but a lot of room in there, too. You can get a couple people in there pretty easily.
My favorite part is the steering column moves.
But don't expect to get anywhere fast.
And then you got a Bug,
VW
too.
Bug, yeah. It's just, I've always liked the Bug. I've got the new electric bus next door, what they call the ID Buzz. And they just came out there not 2 months into the U.S., so. And I ended up with that by default, so.
For you, what is the process? You just find, oh, here's the new thing that's coming out. I have to have this. Or when you go back, what is the process for you?
I don't know that there's really a process. What I look for, especially when I had more of the older cars, I look for something that's nicer than what I have. And if I find it, I'll buy it and then sell the one that I have and let the next person enjoy that one. And that's about the whole process. And horsepower, of course. I like the horsepower, and if somebody comes out with a little more horsepower, you know, I've got to have one. And I mean, it's like Shelby. They always come out with something a little more horsepower, and it's Hennessy does, you know, various people do. But there's really no process. It's just kind of a pinball, or the ball in a pinball machine, kind of bounce around, and if I see something I like, I'm going to try to buy it.
You're just a car guy.
I'm just a car guy.
Also, your diecast collection in your office is insane.
Oh yeah. That's where I should have stopped. You know, it would have been a lot easier.
So this is your Honda motorcycle collection.
Yeah, these are the Trail 70s, late 60s, early 70s. Very collectible now. A lot of people are paying a lot of money for them, and I find them, you know, in, I'm going to say probably a number 5 condition, and then I'd have them restored back to original.
I love
it. And the fact of the matter is, now Honda 2025, they're coming out with what they call the DAX, which is the Japanese name for the Trail 9 or Trail 70s. And they've got a lot of the same looks with that H frame.
Can we take a look at your diecast?
Go ahead.
This is what blew me away. Like, Rich's office is.
This is kind of what gets you fired up.
It's amazing to me because you look at this and you do have a lot of these.
I do. Yeah, thank God not all of them, but it's a nice collection. And they do a great job. That's a 1/18 scale. You know, you can get a lot of detail in them. And they do. A lot of moving parts in them and stuff works out pretty handy.
I love it.
And then you've got the little 50s, and you've got the Q50s and Z50s. The Q50s are the green and red one here. And there weren't many of those shipped to the U.S. The Z50s there were, and this is the very first one year that was shipped to the U.S., 1968. No headlight, no taillight. And then they were required to put the headlights, taillights on them. So the rest of them kind of followed.
Did you ride these in Wyoming?
Yeah, you did. Not these particular ones, but you know, everybody all over they walk in here and they remember that the family had it or somebody in the family had it, and then you could collapse them and stick them in the trunk of a car. And then those are restored. These are 90s. They're 1967, 68s. Then Honda, came out with the rest of them, to look like the old ones, because these are new. And then the monkeys are kind of taking you back to the Z50s. But of course, they've got all the disc brakes and all the new technology and 125 cc's. And then the Trill used to be the Trill 90s, now the Trill 125s. This is kind of the playroom. We host a variety of parties. Christmas, usually Christmas Day, that afternoon. A lot of the folks, that live down here, a lot of them are snowbirds, and their families are distance away, so they come over, and we'll usually get 40, 50, 60 people up here, and they do a white elephant. Of course, I don't allow any drinks down on the floor and stuff, but
you got to put your foot down somewhere.
You do, and the pinball machines are entertainment along with the driving machine there. It works well.
I really appreciate the fact that you like to share your collection.
Yeah, well, if you harbor it or hide it, it's I get enjoyment out of people that enjoy the collection. That's first and foremost. And it's amazing. We've had a lot of military groups in here too, and car clubs come in, and just a variety of people, and I get to meet them. It's it's good for me too. I kind of that social side of it I enjoy.
So it's not open to the public. It's your private collection.
Correct.
But you are open to doing cool stuff with a lot of cool people.
I mean, we whether we entertain up here, that's why it's surrounded with TVs, and people can come up and use it for, if they've got meetings, that's fun too. And then it kind of keeps it lighthearted with the cars. And then each of the tables, I'm a real, Big Daddy Ed Roth. He was a, cartoonist. He did great car pictures and kind of crazy with Ratfink, and Ratfink's my initials, the RF, so I'm kind of near and dear to him.
That's awesome.
But other than that, it's just a lot of fun up here. My wife's got a Thursday afternoon group that they play cards, and they giggle, they laugh, all of that, and that's when I exit. I run next door to the garage town. It's quieter.
You don't have to go that far. It's literally, you just have to go right over there.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
What a backdrop. Incredible. Thank you so much, really, for showing us this.
Well, thanks for taking a stroll with me. It's always enjoyable. You're welcome back anytime.
Love it. Thank you.